So the pace is quite slow. There definitely has been improvements in terms of the awareness, a lot of people now talking about it, but in terms of firms kind of grasp with it, I think there's a massive kind of disparity between certain firms and how they understand neurodiversity. All our brains are wired differently, so it's kind of like, how do you better accommodate that? If you don't have a workforce that can actually complement that and actually cater to that, then there'll be various gaps, and you're not addressing, or you're not providing the service that you would need. There has been certain increase in gender and more from a race, but I feel like race is probably more kind of lacking behind, where there's still a bit of stigma attached to that, where certain families do not know, or don't have the understanding of neurodiversity and how to help their their families, their friends, and sometimes that's where this culture comes in, where people are quite they're not willing to share what whether they have, or don't know where to seek the answers. So I think in terms of from race, it's that I'm sure there's numbers that shows a trend that's improving, but from a race point of view, there's still that lack of understanding there. Probably sounds like there's still a lot of work that needs to be done to address that, and I think that comes from all of us. Whether you're not neurodiverse, you can become an ally. You can understand it. You can support your colleagues and learn about it, as well as myself, who's neurodiverse. Trying to look at ways to disclose my own conditions and explain to my colleagues on how I work. And it's always been coined in terms of, like, one glove doesn't fit all, so it's about kind of understanding the style that works for you. I do feel there's a certain merit of speaking up, and I know when I was back then, when I didn't speak up, it goes back to the stigma attached to the word and the labels. If maybe I met myself 10 years ago, I could have realised that there's all this support available, through access to work and all these different areas you can get access to, can give you that kind of that knowledge and confidence to articulate. But and I know that that doesn't apply to everybody. I know it's very difficult for some people to speak up, and that's something I've kind of had to build over time. But I think in terms of, once you have that awareness in terms of that overall condition, and then get that assessment done, it can really give you that kind of self belief to request what you need. It's a weird position to be a mentor in that situation, but I totally understand kind of what they're going through, and I think the more we speak about these things, the more people will have the confidence to share their stories, to learn from, and then hopefully improve their lives as well.